No, you can get mad because what if they still want to steal?
Well, but what did they steal though?
What's going on, Freddie B?
Yo.
We back in the building.
Back in the building.
Why they keep letting us in here?
I'm not sure.
But anyway, let's just start off rip. I'm excited again because we have a guest.
Yes. Oh,
wow.
Yes.
Like we have a guest.
Yes. And this is a really great guest, and it's gonna be a real funny show. It's gonna be interesting.
God, I'm not ready. To be clear, I'm your host, Don Montgomery.
It's your main man, Freddie BTV.
So joining us now is a man whose career spans stand-up, television, and biting commentary. I really love his commentary. Like that's my favorite thing.
And also, Roy is a fellow HBCuer.
Get it together.
I had to wear my TSU, so we're rivals. So we're gonna go at it.
Oh, okay. Good luck. Anyway, he spent years making us laugh and think on The Daily Show. He owned the stage at House Correspondents' Dinner, and he's about to share his incredible story in his new memoir, The Man of Many Fathers. Let's give a huge welcome to Roy Wood Jr. Okay, so now, before we dive into anything, the hot takes of the headlines, and we've got Roy sitting here.
Yes.
We like to check in first. Roy, how are you doing?
I'm good. Summertime, we down for a second. CNN got to start till September, so it gives me time to do a little bit of traveling. My son is out and about with his mom, and then he'll come back to me in about a week or two, and we're going to do some man traveling,
You
hop
have
in the
8
RV.
cities, right?
Yeah. It was 8 cities, 8 days. I'm not going to do that to him, but there's another stretch where, like, during the summer, I like some of my biggest memories as a kid when my dad was traveling.
Oh, yeah.
Like the moments where I felt closest to my father was just when we was in motion.
Yeah.
So when he came back to me, we in motion. So to ask me how I'm feeling, I'm doing good, but I'm like looking forward to spending the summer and doing stuff.
Love that.
I remember I went to Cartagena with my dad.
He's a father.
Wait a minute, y'all was on drugs.
That was a wild trip.
I remember I went to Colombia with my dad. He said, "Son, hold this bag."
No, not hold this bag is wild.
Hold this pack. This that good stuff right here, son. Don't do it.
Before we lose this, let's get into BET Awards.
Oh yeah, the BET Award. But first, you're a rattler. We got a tiger right here.
See, I was trying to stay
Well,
focused.
I can't say much about Florida A&M right now. We're going through a little bit of a down. We're going through some restructuring.
We are too.
Over there at Florida A&M.
What happened?
Well, we got
allegedly the AD.
Well, we got an AD that turned herself in for stealing. Before she got the job at FAM, she was doing a good job at FAM. That's some old stealing.
Oh, okay, some old stealing. Okay.
You can't get mad at somebody for some old stealing.
No, you can get mad because what if they still want to steal?
Well, but what did they steal though? Maybe they ain't stealing now.
Oh, okay.
They were stealing then.
They could have stole shoes, but you work for a gold factory.
And again, let's bring this back to
look. I'm just happy.
Makes a great point.
I'm happy that FAMU's AD turned himself in for stealing because it turned their attention off all that drama with the president.
Yeah, and we're not going to talk about that. So yeah, the 2025 BET Awards aired last night, and we've got to highlight some favorite moments. Just off rip, I think I have 2 moments for me that I really enjoyed. It was a lot that went on, but I think I loved Kevin Hart's little Usher bit with the cherries and Sheena Arnold and Tisha Campbell and
Taraji, right?
Yeah, no, Kerry Washington.
Carrie,
yes, and so
Carrie
that was
mouth.
cute. I cannot. And then I think the other moment for me was actually seeing the 106 in Park tribute. Like for everybody that performed during that time. I think that was just super dope. So what are some top moments for y'all from the awards last night?
To me, top to bottom, I feel like Drewski and Kai Cenat, just their presence and what they brought to the awards.
I love
just
that
in the terms of how you're integrating youth in the future of Black entertainment while honoring yesteryear at the same time. I mean, we're talking about a show that had streamers doing all types of live craziness that we're still getting clips of now.
Right.
Stuff that you were unaware of.
That we didn't know was going on during the show. Like real behind the scenes.
Yeah, you got streamers going through the crowd while on stage. You got people who couldn't explain to you what the hell it is they do.
Right.
And somehow
and then there were some
sense.
that couldn't get in with their children or couldn't be on the red carpet with their children. What's his name? Tylil.
Yeah.
He had an issue, And
they said no kids on the carpet.
Is stop inviting these people and not making space for them.
Yeah, but with these Black award shows, let's be real. it'd be a lot of top flight security of the world
Top flight
on the
The
red
word
carpet. I
Craig.
aged myself, but but it'd be a lot of super security guards doing the most. And then when Kai got there, the brother was
he was able to go through. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of that. You ain't on the list. You got to stand over there. And it's the first time, like when you give somebody a clipboard or an iPad full of names, it'd be the first time they've had any type of power. And they like, ain't never been a supervisor before. And they can't wait to tell you no.
No,
Wait
right.
to tell you can't get in.
You could tell they
Yeah.
didn't really serve on the usher board. Or did they serve on the usher board? Because
Usher board.
you would know, you would learn that being on the usher board. Like who can go in, when to walk in,
Right.
when not to do so. So it's like, yeah. I love that. I love that.
I mean, I would definitely say this award show, this BET award show was probably the best one I've seen, maybe if ever. And then like to your point,
if
Roy,
ever.
this one was a good one. This
No.
one was a really good one because it
It's a lot
tied
of
in
nostalgia.
Yeah, it tied in nostalgia and it tied
say
in the
maybe
new.
the
It kind of
last
because like
decade.
that could be kind of hard to cover all the way back from. You had Charlie Wilson performing all the way up until Casa Not. You know, I mean, they
Yeah.
touched it all. It was classy. It was
Yeah.
nice. And this was a Black People's Award show instead
And
of
this is what we're
yesteryear,
supposed to do.
some nigga.
This is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to honor our people. We're supposed to show up for each other and show that Black excellence. I love that. I love that.
When else would you see Charlie Wilson and Glorilla in the same room?
I don't know.
Gloria, hallelujah.
I don't know, but I love the fact that Glorilla, won the award for gospel song, with Kirk Franklin, and I love that moment.
Her very first BT award.
And she was telling people like, "Don't make fun of my accent," and I love her. I love her. I need her to show up for Megan, but I love her. Yeah. But I did love how Mariah just stood there, like she was escorted to her spot, and then she performed in her little spot. And then she was gone. You know what I'm saying? I love that.
Shots of Mariah Carey at all? Or did she just come in from the back?
I think she just came in. It was just like, oh.
She treated the BET Awards like I treat an open mic. I'm just popping in real quick. Let me just do 5.
Real quick. Let me just do this.
She literally did a walkthrough. She did a walkthrough at the BET
No
Awards.
sound check, no nothing. Just showed up.
But I will say my major critique was knowing that Snoop had performed, for what is it called?
I was. Man,
you knew that. You knew I was going to go there.
That.
But then to be honored by BET, and I get it, I do, but it's like to be that intentional to kind of like platform him, especially when no one's reaching back to find out if Chrisette Michele needs to come back out. You know what I'm saying? Because people did her so wrong for performing at an event.
Robert Jr. voted for.
And did.
You got to preface shit like that. People argue that Snoop's catalog is so good that you're more willing to separate the politics than you are with Chrisette.
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
And when I say people, I say Negroes on Twitter.
Yeah, basically.
So I get it in a way where I feel like Snoop's, the entirety of his legacy, it shadows Chrisette Michelle's.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock to what she's done and what she's built. But I wonder if that's part of why they were willing to we'll bring Snoop, because BET's audience probably doesn't care nearly as much as we do, more politically
correct. Gotcha.
tuned in.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think, I don't know, I feel like BET has always been an organization that does not really care one way or the other what you do outside of here.
It's just we gonna do.
Do you do something good that benefit what we,
the
moment we trying to create?
And we gonna put you up.
Cool.
Yeah,
Welcome back.
right.
What's that? Oh, it's riots up the street? That's crazy. Anyway,
Right.
award show.
Listen, shouts out to Doechii for calling that out.
great.
I loved her speech. But yes, to
So
that point,
I understand it. And I mean, and even with what was happening up the street with the protests and everything, I still understand the need to create a place for celebrating Black excellence. If BET doesn't do it, I don't know who else is going to do it.
correct.
Matter of fact, we know who else is going to do it, and ain't nobody going to do it.
Right.
So
We
you
gonna
also have
it.
to have a place to celebrate that and create a place for escapism as well. But, I think that Snoop being there, it didn't shock me or disappoint me because that's what BET's always
Well,
been.
it was a major thing for me, major critique. But then it was like when I did see who he brought out or who came out to like honor him, I did see him performing one of my favorite songs. Now I ain't gonna lie, it ain't no fun. Hit the hook,
Out of all the songs.
Shut up. But he brought out Warren G. And Warren G was in an interview, previously just saying like he was looking for Dre and,
They don't reach out.
They don't reach out to him. So for him to reach out to bring him out in that moment, I thought that was a moment. So
Yeah, and it gives people an opportunity to celebrate Warren technology and for the youth to understand who I don't want to say forefathers are. I ain't trying to age them like that, but
no,
I mean, I think we had that moment. I was on the radio.
Let's just say OGs.
Yeah.
they was like old school music is 90s. It's old school now.
I mean, they were called ancestors last night. Who was that? Was the Ironheart, the young lady who's playing Ironheart? She called ancestors, but that was like a couple of decades before that. But anyway, I will say this, Jamie Foxx's moment, where he was being honored. I love that entire thing. Like it did something for me. And then him just saying how, he doesn't know why what happened to him. He just wanted a second chance. So I think that spoke volumes to kind of give him that space to kind of say that in front of us, our community, right?
I'll say about that, like he said, he got a second chance, but I want to really press, like, everybody don't get a second chance.
Yeah.
Make sure you do good with the first chance.
Oh, don't
live a life and like, you know
Freddie
what I mean?
Said, don't do nothing that you got to beg God to.
Right. Cause sometimes God can't help you, and Satan like, got you.
You know what? I cannot.
Got you, bitch. You coming with me?
No.
So do right with the first chance.
I would rather Jamie be like that instead of having a stroke, bouncing back at me and like, I can't be stopped. Where the white women at? He's humble now.
Yes.
Every time you see Jamie Foxx, the last couple
saying that. Yes.
Spirit.
Yes.
I want to say Kirk Franklin's speech was really dope too.
I loved Kirk Franklin's performance.
His acceptance, because he talked about, he's raw and honest.
Was it Kirk Franklin or was it Plies?
Who knows? We never seen him in the same spot. We never seen him in the same spot. But his acceptance speech was he talking about not being perfect Christian, definitely not being perfect father, and he don't even sing. And he said this, not my words, his words.
Right.
And then he said he can't even sing, and he was like, hey, like, when it don't make sense, it's God. So, he was definitely direct. So, but speaking of Black excellence, shout out to BT Awards on that. But one of our favorite stars just made history again.
Our niece.
Yes, shout out to Miss Coco.
Miss Coco Gauff. Yeah, so I have to take a moment to shout out Coco Gauff because she's just one of those athletes that you see coming up. And I think there was a clip where she was either watching Venus play or Serena play. And she's in the background and it's like, this is her moment. She's just in the crowd chilling, just watching. Chilling, like a kid, like just enjoying. So like this was coming, but she just won her second Grand Slam title at the French Open on June 7th specifically. And she made history as the first American woman to take home the Roland Garros trophy since Serena back in 2015. That's 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. How did that make y'all feel to see that?
It was dope. I was very happy for her, because I think that in tennis specifically, it is you versus the other person, and then also, in a way, you versus the crowd and the audience. Serena had to deal with hecklers and a lot of shady, bad calls from referees, umpire, whatever you call them, the chair dude.
The chair dude.
The chair brother. So for her to overcome so many more things than what you just see happening between the lines. Yeah. Good for her. And she was happy too. She was kissing the trophy. She took the trophy on the plane.
Yeah.
Like she's smiling.
I love that. Yeah. Like that was the joy of that. But
she was
also
on a Spirit Airlines flight. She had the little trophy. She paid
not
$30
Spirit.
to carry it.
You know what?
She didn't fly.
No, I love how Coco showed the difference between the two trophies. The trophy she holds up is not the one she took home. She showed the one she actually got, and it was like an eighth of a size.
And that was bigger than that WNBA trophy during the All-Star that one year. But anyway, we're going to focus here. So she defeated world number one, whatever that girl name is.
Sabalenka.
Yeah, thanks. In a tough 3-set match. Now, one of the things that I do know, to kind of piggyback off what Roy said, Coco said that a lot of the arena or the place where she's playing at, like a lot of people were saying this other girl's name or were rooting for her. And she had to tell herself mentally, like she had to say her name over and over again. Like, are there moments where you're like doing things and you have to encourage yourself, Roy?
Yeah. It could be stand-up comedy where you need to you feel the joke going wrong and people are yelling against you.
Seriously?
Yeah, because it's a mind game. Like so much of it is a battle with yourself, sports, and so I think that you're out there and going, that joke didn't work. All right, Roy, you got another one. You can do this, and he hears about it. Sit your ass down.
Yeah. Have you ever told a joke? Like, cause like I host and do comedy as well, and it's like you on stage, you telling a joke, and it's not really working. And then you got that person not really sit your ass down, but they want to be funny too.
Yeah,
they want their moment. They want a pot shot. And
but then now you got to get them.
Yeah, because a lot of people they think they funny, but they don't understand. Like I'm on stage, I got to consistently string together stuff. You just want a pot shot, and that's where you really gotta lock in on how you gonna handle them, but still get your stuff off.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's still my fault because if I was funny enough, they wouldn't open their mouth.
Well,
that's in my head. I'm like, this is your fault. And no one likes you.
No one likes you is crazy. But I loved in Coco's victory speech, right? She quoted one of my favorite artists, and y'all know I'm gonna bring this to the table every time if he's mentioned. But she quoted Tyler the Creator, and it's the song Saint Chroma, the very first song on Chromacopia album. If you haven't listened to it, there's something wrong with you. But it was the line of, if I ever told you I had a doubt, I was lying. And that's like, to me, I'm like, I think that's super dope to kind of like bring in music and how music has this influence. Like, what's something you're listening to right now, Roy?
I'm late on music because I'm a father.
What do you mean you're a father? I'm a mother, and I know all of the things.
I be listening to podcasts half the time. Right now, my new artist is Big X the Plug. That's who I love.
Okay. Is that
out like
is
2-3 years?
But is that the biggest, the largest?
Yeah.
Okay.
The largest.
Yeah, he feel like a new 8-ball MJG type Southern. He from Texas, but
yes,
he got that Southern,
he gives me that.
House vibe. So
okay,
I like that, brother.
You're not too far behind then. What about you, Freddie? Like, who are you listening to right now? Like if you had to give a winning speech, who would you actually quote right now in a speech?
If I had to give a winning speech, I probably would honestly say some Jay-Z stuff.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like probably like a album cut from Volume 3, Come and Get Me, produced by Timbaland. I love that song.
Oh, that's very specific.
That is not one of the better albums.
Damn, bro.
Even Jay-Z did it. Jay-Z ranked his albums in that stack that time. There's a picture. Jay-Z posted a picture where he ranked all his albums, and Volume 3 was in the bottom half. That's all I'm saying.
It wasn't a solid up and down album, but that track right there was that like that beat. Timbaland took off on that beat. He got some AI stuff going on that I don't agree with right now. That's another story. But that track, come and Get Me, was dope.
But overall, we're proud of Coco, and I can't wait to see her win more Grand Slams.
Yeah. Oh, and I do want to say this. She actually, her other major, she beat Sabalenka at the U.S. Open.
So she don't beat this heifer twice.
Beat her twice in the finals.
Hey, I love a good rivalry.
She's 6-5. So out of 11 matches, she beat her 6 times.
I love a good rivalry.
So this shaping up to be Sharapova.
That's why Sabalenka was talking crazy.
It's wild.
I'm trying
you did worse than me.
Let me try it again.
Anyway.
No, she was talking crazy about the girl after the match. Said some slick shit.
And then put out that PR apology.
Yeah, but I get it.
She got roasted.
You lost. You get under your skin. I actually didn't mind that. Like, I think that we expect women to be all dainty and sportsmanship and but if it was 2 dudes, you lost, but man, I'm next time.
Right. And that would be okay.
Yeah, only reason you got to the championship was because Tatum was hurt. You didn't have to go. Like you would make up a million reasons.
Right.
I like that chirping because that's how you get whooped for a decade straight, like Sharapova did with Serena.
Right,
so
because
keep
you
talking.
mad.
You're gonna make Coco mad, and then you ain't gonna win more matches.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So from tennis to tough matches, we got to get into something else tough.
I'm
something
ready for
else
this.
tough, and that's Tyler, your man's Tyler Perry.
Yes.
And his new film, which was tough in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, so Tyler has a new Netflix film, and I want to preface this by saying I love his deal with Netflix. I love that he has this opportunity to do these things, and I feel like he's doing a really good job with this. So let me say that. But the film is called Straw, and it isn't an easy watch. I will say this. I cried the entire time watching it. My kids were walking around asking me, was I okay? I was not okay. But me personally, I identify with some of the things that was happening. Now, for her to have that rough ass lunch break, 45 minutes, all this went down. I don't identify with that because let me tell you something. I don't think I would have made it into 15 minutes of that.
I haven't seen the film yet. I know it's number 1 on Netflix. I know it's Taraji P. Henson, struggling black woman who didn't get her hair done. She at the bank.
Not didn't get her hair done.
She was sweaty the whole movie.
Bro, what do you mean? She doesn't have money to pay for it. But go ahead.
Okay, but I'm just saying based on what I've seen swiping through Twitter with no volume. struggling black woman who can't get her hair done at the bank.
Surprise.
And it
And if
turns
we
into
can't get
some
our
sort
hair
of
done, that's
John
a
Q
problem.
hostage situation.
Yes,
But that's what Tyler Perry does. Tyler Perry front loads a lot of chaos within the first 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
Divorcing Black, the opening scene and the
I didn't even
funeral,
watch. I couldn't watch that.
they carry the body out the casket.
That's a lot.
The grieving family takes the body out the casket at a funeral to bury it somewhere else because we didn't like the church. Whatever. I don't know. But that's what Tyler Perry does.
That is diabolical.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just want to make sure I'm understanding the context of this film. Because you're saying bad thing, but like what was
but in general, like it follows her through one of the worst days of her life. And I think it was, to me, not just what she had to go through in particular, but it just highlighted other things, like her run-in with the police. Like there was a off-duty officer who actually hit her car and kind of sent her spinning or whatever.
But she like pulled out in front of him.
Here's the thing. She had every right to pull out though. Like she waited a little minute and she pulled out or whatever.
It's an accident, but he severely overreacted.
Yes, he
hit
did.
her in the
and
back.
Then later on, he makes a comment to her, I'm going to find a legal way to unalive you, right? And so that sticks with her because as she's dealing with the possible robbery, right, at the bank, she sees him on screen, like because there's cameras, there's news there, and the first thing she immediately that triggers her, she's like, that man said he was going to unalive me, right? Those weren't her specific words, but you get what I'm saying. And so then it starts the spiral, right? But then it's like the twist in the movie is what got me, because when you go back, once they get to the end, and after she's gone through all of this, and shouts out to Tiana Taylor and Sherry Shepherd for their roles in this, because it's always women trying to find a way to look out for us. But to me, it's like when you get to the end and you see that the twist is what it is, because I don't want to say it because I feel like people haven't watched it, like Roy. And you have to see that, and then you think about it, it goes deeper into mental health. It goes into, like, if you do have a bad day, what could trigger like psychosis, or what could trigger an episode, a manic episode, a depressive episode, all of the things. And I think that it's just so important, right? Like we are very close. Like I think a lot of us, because you always talk about PTSD on here, because that you feel like that's how we were born or brought into this country for the most part. But I think it our last straw is Anywhere. Like it didn't take much for her, honestly, but it was a lot to watch her go through to finally get to that point. And I think that that's very hard to watch.
I'm going to watch it. A buddy of mine said that it's like if Tyler Perry did kind of his version of Falling Down, Michael Douglas. And that's one of my top 5 films, Falling Down. Yeah. So, I'll check it out. You know what's funny about Tyler Perry movies? Like, those are only like genre movies you don't get mad if somebody spoiled it for you. You still going to watch it.
You still going to watch it?
You still going to watch it. Yeah. Like, either you're in or you're not on Tyler Perry.
Well, I want people to really watch it, though, because I think, get through the first 30 minutes, please. And then once you get to the bank, everything starts settling down a little bit. And I do shout out to the elderly women in the movie, because that one lady who said it's expensive to be poor, that was a quote. That was a quote, because that's real. That's real. True. That's real life.
I mean, like the movie. One thing I want to point out is, like I said before, Taraji P was sweaty the whole movie. I don't know why.
Oh my God.
She was in the bank. They were talking about it was cold. Like, why is Taraji still sweaty?
Okay, so look at her. She could have been perimenopause, or she could have been going through menopause. So we're not gonna do that.
Trembling.
I don't know. She was sweaty, deep, clammy, and gummy the whole movie. And then another thing I want to point out is Tiana Taylor. Her wig. Why can't they? Why Tyler can't get the good hair for everybody?
Why do y'all care about Tyler Perry wigs at this point? Y'all know what it is.
I like sometimes I'll pop into Tyler Perry movies.
Action.
She had a new era hair fitted on.
Not a new
like
era.
It was like a 1950s football helmet with no face mask.
Getting with this man, either you with it or you ain't. This is
28th
movie.
And I'm gonna say I'm with Straw. I'm with Straw. It was a difficult watch.
I would say, but the straw
I'm gonna talk to my therapist, but I'm with it.
That broke her back was kind of deep though. It wasn't small. It wasn't. Let's be clear. It wasn't small. Like once I got there, I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Right.
I get why she went crazy. And I get it.
Lastly, the thing that really makes me want to see this movie is the fact that Sinbad makes an appearance. And if I'm not mistaken, it's his first acting appearance since he had his stroke.
Yeah, and he's an important character.
And so. The love, and you talk about flowers, BET Awards, and paying homage to ancestors, if you will.
Yeah.
When I heard that, I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and get that queued up.
And Tyler's keeping people
Yeah.
working.
Definitely shout out to Tyler.
Say that. So, anyways, to Roy. This is time for us to talk about you, buddy.
Okay.
You know, I want to say this. Thank you for being my friend.
Absolutely.
You are so amazing.
You
You're
are
like the only
respected-
person that has taken me out while I've been here and stuff. Like, I love
You're
you.
a respected member of the media, and I love what
Thank
you
you
do.
for
You're
that.
a member of the media.
That is so generous.
Esteemed.
I love you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But-
turn us into new niggas.
But overall, like, you are just really, really great at storytelling. Like, you're like that in real life. Like, even if we're just hanging out, like, you have the best stories. How did you come up with this book? Like, getting started to do it? What motivated you? I know that I've been hearing a lot of more of your, fatherly stories, whether it's you as a father or your father, just over the past year or two.
Yeah.
Was it just something that you always had in the back of your mind, or you just was like, okay, no, like, let me put this on paper?
It was when I had a kid.
So this is wow.
If I'm being blunt,
Mhm.
it's the idea of you have a child. My son is 9 now.
Right.
You have a child. So my dad died when I was 16. So it's a lot of game I ain't get, a lot of questions I wasn't mature enough to even know I needed to ask, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a child and you go, oh, damn, what if I die? Let me give him some tips and some let me write some stuff down. All right, well, how am I going? And I'm literally, my son is like 2 hours old and I'm holding him and you're going through your head, all right, this lesson, well, damn, where did I learn that value from? Oh, it wasn't from my dad. Yo, I learned that from. And I literally started just making a list of people. And the more I looked at the list, and there were a lot of women on the list, but by and large, it was longer with men because comedy's a male-dominated industry. Entertainment is a male-dominated industry. So I've had all of these interactions and all of these lessons, and I thought, well, this might be of use to other people. Like, it says memoir, but it's not really that. Like, it's a lot of stuff that happened to me, but it's more life lessons. Through storytelling. So I mean, it could be something that's profound, but like this idea of like, oh, I learned that lesson from that dude. So it could be something profound and deep about knowing your self-worth, or it could be the fact of just knowing that if you are really good at your job, the rules will not be the same for you. You get to operate differently. And that's why your coworker who did never got fired.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Because he was good at dishwashing.
Right. But what was but for you, what was the hardest part to write?
The hardest part was reconciling my own relationship with my dad while I do something that fosters hopefully a positive relationship with my child. It's impossible to write about the lessons you got as a man without doing a full parental audit of your parents.
Come on.
And then
and that's hard.
And accepting it. Damn, but he didn't do that. I wonder why he didn't do that.
Right.
And then you get hit with, I can never ask him why he didn't do that.
Right.
All right, cool.
So you gotta
I'm gonna do it for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it for you, and then I'm gonna save space, or I'm gonna show him some grace for that, because maybe that's not something that he was taught.
And that's where I'm gonna try and explore a little later. I did Finding Your Roots, and that was really an even deeper catalyst because it gave me a deeper understanding of my father. When I did Finding Your Roots, I found out facts about my dad that gave me the ability to forgive.
Oh, wow. Ooh, that gave me chills.
So
that gave me chills. What do you think, Freddie?
Man, this Roy is
because I know you was excited to hear. He's coming on and he has this book, and you're always pointing out, where's the father? Where's the father? The structure.
Because to what you said, like I had to do the same thing with my dad. I think that's probably one of
and I met your daddy.
Yeah, you met him.
Hey, daddy.
He is the if you want to if you want something to have an idea who my dad is the stereotypical Q. Omega Psi Phi, like whatever you think a Q dog is, my dad is the embodiment of all that. His line name was Gangster.
Shout out to the Bruce.
Good Lord.
Yes, that's my dad. And so the thing is like what you just said, like I was at that same point. I think with any man, when you had a dad, you might have, like, my dad was there, but it still was a fracturing there growing up that I had trouble. I had to work through. It was like some Father's Days I didn't call him. You know what I mean? And that's because, like, the pain and the hurt of growing up and, like, and just absence of where he should have been there, where he shouldn't. But the thing is when you reconcile, to your point, you reconcile that relationship and you really reconcile and really realize that, yep, my dad ain't Superman. Because when you're growing up, your dad is Superman. Your dad is larger than life. But then you get older and you got to realize that my dad is a man. My dad is a flawed man that had me, that got with a woman and had me. And he's just a regular man. And you start to reconcile it to the point of like, I can be better than him. Because when you're younger, your dad is larger than life and you don't see yourself being bigger than that.
Yeah.
And then now you realize as a man, like I can be better than him. I can supersede him and take all the flaws and the mistakes that he made, and I can do better and then go higher and go further.
Yeah.
So for you say it's a loose memoir. Just in general, it's like documenting those lessons or being able to pass that along. What do you think the other readers, like especially Black men, what do you think they're gonna grab from it the most, or what do you want them to grab the most?
I think that I want readers, and it's not just Black men, but I think anyone that's raising a man.
I love that. I love that.
I think
the village.
Yeah, it's the idea of understanding that lessons come from a myriad of places. And it's for parents to also realize. Now, talking with my mom, a lot of these stories I never even told my mom stuff that happened. I'm talking like, the night I got booed at the Apollo and went back to the hotel in Elizabeth, New Jersey, and a pimp and two of his women gave me some game on failure. Just sitting out in the parking lot of the Night's Inn, parlaying with two total strangers, but they saw I'm crying in my car. They're probably coming up to rob me, but what? It's Elizabeth, New Jersey.
I've never been there.
Google it. Google Earth. Yeah. Google Earth, the Night's Inn in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Night's Inn? That's all you had to say was a Night's Inn.
That is so specific. Oh my God.
I've got some of my best game from a 7-year-old in College Park, Georgia. But go ahead.
What I'm saying? So these street dudes, they recognize that you have a different path. You have another opportunity, another way to go. Your children, whether you like it or not, are going to be raised even more by the people around them when you're not around.
I've been able to witness that, especially being a single mother. But I love the fact that both of my children's fathers, they are active in their children's life. I can call them, I can text them, I can say, I need you to do this, do that. There's no general pushback, right? Now, if there is some pushback, it's because they may see it differently. And then that's when I have to make the decision to be like, oh, you're the father, let me step back. Or, well, no, I see it this way because this is how they react.
This is why I say you're not the average woman. So when we had these conversations, I gotta keep reminding her. She be saying, "No, Fred." I'm like, I'm talking to average hoes out here.
No, because also too, I think the beautiful thing about it is when you know that there's a man that wants to be active and present in the child's life, you allow them to do that, and in doing that, there's gonna come a time when you have to step back or you have to sit down, you have to shut up, and I don't mean it to be all like you got to shut up and get in the kitchen, but I mean it's like shut up and sit there and watch. Well, watch the father do what he does best.
I think that there has to be a respect between both parties.
That's the key word, respect.
I'm very blessed to have a great co-parenting partner. Like I don't even call myself a single father because I don't even know what that means. Because that prefix "single," people can assign a million different moral reasons to it. So for me, I always say co-parent because I'm not doing it alone, and I do get the benefit of being able to still raise this child in a way where I have some say.
Right.
And so does she. And so that to me is above all. That's as important because whether you like it or not, even if you're not with your child's mother, they are still, to me, you're still the most important person in my life. Because I need your help to make sure he is straight.
Correct.
And if he's the priority, then you are the co-parent, then inherently you are the most important.
Yeah.
I need you. So please answer when I call.
I love that.
Yo, did my son get the cough and I call her ass immediately. Hey, which pill I'm supposed to get? Because I've been on the road 2 weeks. I don't know none of these pills.
Nothing.
My son got the pill, the head allergies, which one? I don't, You show up to school with the rash, and they be like, we got to send him home today. And then she be like, why you ain't give him the pill? I be like,
I ain't know which one.
So you gotta
I'll be
concede.
taking pictures of stuff. I'll be like, so when you need to do this, here you go, and blah, blah, blah. And then they be like, oh my God, this is a lot. No, like follow the pictures.
Got a picture book. You ain't got to read.
Mom, I got my first. Call your daddy. He gonna talk to you about all that.
What?
That's crazy.
But that's needed. That is needed.
I'm sorry. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll do that.
That's my bad.
So before we get out of here in general, thank you so much for the text. Let's start there because it was you. You followed up with me. You were like, hey, this is what I got going on. And you were like, if you can catch me before I do all of these other things, you wanted to make it work. So I do appreciate you for coming in here, showing us some love, and just showing up for me most of all.
Congrats on what you all are building.
You. I love you to death.
Congrats on what y'all are building. Like, this is not easy. And it takes a lot of courage to sit and go, I'm going to do it myself, my way, brick by brick. So anybody doing that, I love to be a part of it and do what I can to support it.
Well, brick by brick, I'm going to give you flower by flower because I physically believe in real flowers.
Wow.
So thank you for joining us.
Oh, yeah.
Look at his face.
That's colorful. That's nice. Yeah. Look at shit.
Look at him.
I can't.
And it's wild because, my Hulu special is called Lonely Flowers.
Yes, it is. And that was why I wanted to make sure I physically gave you some flowers.
It definitely got to show love. Like, Roy, you do a lot of stuff. You working with MLB, you got the Hulu special, got the book. You even shot a pilot in your hometown, employed all your people in Alabama. Didn't get to air. But I saw, we
put some money.
We got a mutual friend, my man Jock. We hung out. You had a live show you were doing with with a therapist, B.
Yeah.
That you were doing that was super dope. I got to see. There's so many things you doing. It's great.
You know what killed that live therapy show is I quit Daily Show, and when I quit Daily Show, nobody wanted to buy it because they wanted my next project to be political. So any buyer I went to trying to pitch that show, they go, well, what about in the political sphere? Trump is coming back, and we would love your voice is essential in the. And so I took the CNN job, and now I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do that.
I know that's
coming back to it. Is all I'm saying.
I know that's
Don't you steal my idea, Negroes. That's what black people do. Black people see you not do something for a little while. Like, you ain't doing nothing with that therapy idea. Let me go and do something.
Right. Yeah, Don't take it. Well, just in general, thank you for coming on the show. I can't wait to continue to celebrate you because you're one of my favorite people, but you're one of my favorite unks because I love seeing how you own Twitter and Instagram the way that you do. So
I'll be old. I don't know everything. Teach me, youngins.
Hilarious. But like always, we just need everyone to like and comment and subscribe and check out everything and talk about this show in your group chat or even bring it to the comments. Let us know how you feel about this.
Exactly, man. Like I said, we appreciate you. Can't wait for y'all to read the book. Make sure y'all check out the book. And we definitely got to send love to the Okayplayer family per usual. You know what I mean? And we'll see y'all.
Ain't gonna name no names.
I ain't gonna name no names this time, because I be forgetting names. Brianna, shut your mouth.
This is good. Y'all run a tight ship here. They be telling y'all to wrap up. I ain't never been on a black show. They tell you to talk less.
Wrap it up. We'll see y'all next Tuesday.
And the boss is in here. Shouts out to Aisha.
Professional.